Alright, so hopefully I don't have to restart this video again because my cats decide to argue right behind my camera. Anyway, happy November. I'm a little bit late since Halloween was yesterday. And I hope everyone had fun at Halloween, got lots of candy, whatever it was you do to celebrate Halloween. But now that it's November, it's time to switch gears and move back into building the hype for Scream Curse of Carnage #1 that comes out on November 27th. And to say I'm excited about it is a massive, massive understatement. Those of you who follow my Let's Talk Scream page watch me literally cry when her ongoing got revealed a couple months ago. So really the only new developments we have with that is a handful of new variant covers, but there is one that I definitely want to talk about, which is this one. You can't see it very well on my phone because it's my phone light doesn't translate well to the camera, and I don't have any kind of video editing software, so I can't put the picture up on the screen. But yeah, Scream is getting her own cereal box variant cover and joins both Venom and Carnage in having this. I can't remember exactly which issue of Venom had a cereal box variant cover, but I do have the picture. And I'm thinking it was Absolute Carnage #1 that had a cereal box, a variant cover for it. So it's really cool that she gets something like this because the other two most popular symbiotes, being, obviously Venom and Carnage, have one too. So it's cool that she's, starting to be held in this high regard right up next to them. Which, honestly, it's about fucking time. But what I really want to talk about today is what my hopes are for this ongoing. And of course, my #1 hope is that it doesn't get fucking canceled. Oh my god, I hope this doesn't get canceled. And by canceled, I don't mean the run comes to an end and the story's over. I'm talking we get 6, 5, 4 issues, and Marvel's yeah, no, we're just gonna axe this for whatever reason. Because I know there was a couple runs, I think last month, that got canceled really early into their run. Didn't even make it past the first main story arc, to where, as a reader, you wouldn't have even really had time to get invested in the story. And I really worry about that with Scream, because while I'm biased because I am just this mega fucking Scream fangirl, so I'm biased as hell, but she's not as well known as, say, some of the other symbiotes are, even with her Absolute Carnage tie-ins, which has helped her popularity a lot. Those have helped so much, and they're really good, and you should read them. All of them are already out, and I'm pretty sure issues 1 and 2 are already on their second printing. I think issue 3 might be on its third. Well, issue 1 might be on its third printing, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I worry that, maybe the sales aren't going to be what Marvel's expectations are, and it's going to be canceled early, that we're not even going to get, 2 different story arcs out of this. And I just hope that doesn't happen, because Scream got done really fucking dirty prior to Absolute Carnage, in which, in Venom 2011 issue, I want to say 15, she gets murdered by Eddie Brock, who is acting really out of character, and it doesn't even completely make sense upon why he killed her. And I've read the entire run and still haven't been able to completely make sense of why he would do that. So she got killed for basically no reason. And I think she just deserved so much better than that. So I'm hoping that with the hype of her tie-ins for Absolute Carnage, with her solo run, we'll finally see that. We're going to see her get the full appreciation she deserves. Maybe we'll see her get... And I guess that leads me into my second thing, is that I'm hoping we see some merchandise with her. I'm thinking the only official merchandise with her that is not a comic book, like official merch that's not fan created, not fan modded, is her 2 action figures. One of them that was released in, I think, 96, and one that is part of the Marvel Legends line. And if I'm wrong, please correct me, because I am desperate for some Scream merchandise. But with her tie-in, I'm hoping that this gets her popular enough to where we can buy shirts with her on it. Maybe she'll get a goddamn Funko Pop, because it feels like almost every other symbiote has a Funko Pop but her. Maybe we'll see some more like collectible stuff with her. I know that there is a very high dollar statue company that is making a statue of her. It's very, very expensive. It's very, very pretty, but it's very, very expensive. So if you have the money to spend, I'll leave a link to that below, as long as I can find it, which I should be able to. I posted about it, but I'll leave a link to that in the description. So if that's something you have the money for, go for it. It's beautiful looking. But I really want to see her, get, merchandise, t-shirts, jewelry, socks. Dude, I want a pair of socks with Scream on. Like, could you imagine that? Like, you could have the socks be black and have her face, like, at the very top of the sock, and her hair just kind of, like, flows down the rest of the sock. That'd be awesome. I want Scream socks. When it comes to plot-wise, what's going to happen, what I want to happen plot-wise in Curse of Carnage, the main thing is I really want Scream to be able to spawn in this run. And if this ends up being a full 12-issue run or longer, I mean, I'm hoping for longer, but I'll take what I'll be satisfied with 12, but I want more. I don't see why that wouldn't be impossible for her, because obviously we've had Venom spawn before. Carnage has spawned, I think, 3 different times, being in Toxin, Scorn, and Raze. And I think it's time for Scream to be able to do that. I would love to see how that would affect Andy Benton and how Andy would feel about that. One thing that we haven't seen a whole lot with symbiotes in their spawn, and I think we've only really seen this with Sleeper, is host and symbiote and their respective symbiotes feeling an attachment to their spawn and looking at it the same way as like a mother would look at their human child. And I think that would be kind of cool if Scream were to spawn, and instead of being, horribly disgusted by this, spawn and wanting it dead, actually maybe seeing some motherly instincts from her. And of course, this might just be me projecting myself onto the character, and I'll be transparent about that. That might be what it is, because I'm also a mother, my son's too. So maybe that's just me projecting. But I really want her to spawn, even if it ends up being a fight between her and her spawn. I think it would be really good character development for her, and we get to flesh out some of her backstory and some of, well, not backstory, but some of her present lore and things like that. I didn't even think of this until I was washing dishes while listening to the We Are Venomaniacs podcast. And someone in the podcast mentioned how it'd be really cool if a Goblin ended up being a villain for Scream in the new ongoing. Because we know the first arc is going to be about Big Mother. I don't know a lot about her. I know there's a Marvel entry for her somewhere. I need to look it up. I'm pretty sure she's Grendel's mother, but I'm not 100% confident in saying that. But the more I keep thinking of it, having the second arc be Scream fighting Demogoblin, if at the end of Absolute Carnage Demogoblin's still a thing, would be really, really cool. It would, and what they went on to talk about in the Venomaniacs podcast was that it would be Scream's main Goblin villain, and that would be awesome. It would give us more content with Shriek. It would give us more content, obviously with Scream, and it would be a good way to kind of get people excited about Venom 2 because of where Shriek is going to be in Venom 2. So, another thing that I'm hoping for is, and I think I'm kind of in the minority for this, but I don't really want Scream's design to change a whole lot now that Andy's hosting her. I've heard a couple people say that they're hoping that Scream's main design with Andy kind of plays on the Mania look, where Mania kind of had, this punky goth thing kind of going on with her design, which I absolutely love. But I kind of want Scream's design to stay as close to her base design as possible, with the long hair, the yellow and red, like, spots, if you want to call them. I think her original design, she actually had brown spots, kind of like a leopard. But I'm hoping her design doesn't change too much. I really, if nothing else, even if they change all of her physical design, I really hope they keep her hair. Her hair is so iconic that it's gotta stay that at least somewhat longer length with the colors. And it looks like with the end of Absolute Carnage Scream #3 that's probably gonna happen. So, um, this video is pushing 11 minutes, and I don't want to ramble on too long, but that's my biggest hopes for Curse of Carnage, is that Scream gets to spawn, and we get to see some sort of interesting relationship between her and her spawn, instead of the typical symbiote reaction of, oh, I have to kill this other spawn because they're evil or whatever. I'm hoping that, thanks to the We Are Venomaniacs team putting into my head that Goblin gets to be a villain, which would be really cool, and hoping that Scream's design doesn't change too much. So I hope this didn't get too rambly. I have ADHD, and I kind of get lost in my own head sometimes when I talk, and that happened quite a few times here. So when I looked up at the timer in the corner, I was kind of like, oh shit, I've been talking about this for like 10 minutes. So I'll go ahead and cut this off here. If you guys like the video, go ahead and click, like, subscribe, all that typical YouTube stuff. I'll have links down below, both to my personal Twitter, my Let's Talk Scream page. I'll have links to the Scream statue that I mentioned earlier, and a link to where you can listen to the episode of the We Are Venomaniacs podcast, where they're talking about Goblin maybe being a villain in Scream's ongoing. So yeah, November 27th, save the date, and I will see all of you guys at my next video.